Alright, so to complete the square or solve a quadratic equation by completing the square, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure it's in standard form. Everyone say standard form? Standard form basically is just ax squared plus b negative 33. Here in yellow, let's factor. Class, what are a times c? A times c is 16. What's your b value? Negative 8. Partner B, whisper to partner A. Two numbers that multiply to 16 but add to be negative 8. Class, what are the numbers? And class, do I have to use the box? No, because your a value is equal to negative 1. Now, when it says a perfect trinomial square, that's just a fancy word of saying I have two of these x minus 4s, and we write them with a squared, or power of 2. That's all it means. So how do you know that you did completing the square correctly? This is going to be to the power of 2 of the same binomials. And the last step is what we learned Friday, solve by square root method. Class, is this isolated? No. We're going to have to get rid of that negative 2. How? We divide by negative 2. That's gone. We're left with x minus 4 squared equals 33 over 2. Now it's isolated, I can take the square root. X minus 4 equals plus or minus radical 33 over radical 2. Partner A, tell partner B what happens when we have a radical in the denominator. Class RTD. What does it stand for? Radical 2 over radical 2. I get x minus 4 equals plus or minus radical 33 times radical 2. Radical 66. Radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4. Radical 4 is 2. And then all I have to do there is add 4. Class, does the 4 go to the left, to the right, or the plus or minus? To the left. Our answer is x equals 4 plus or minus radical 66 over 2. This is an exact answer. Let's review the problem. I'm asked to solve this quadratics. And you can solve quadratics in many ways. If I were doing the problem, I probably would not do completing the square. But what are the advantages of completing the square? You actually get into something called vertex form, which you guys didn't see in here. But make sure it's in standard form. Move the c value to the right. Factor out the a value. Complete the square by using b over 2 squared. Remember here, notice what happens when you distribute. That's the number you're really adding to both sides. Factor it out. When you factor it, you'll get a perfect trinomial square, and you're solving by the square root. Don't forget the plus or minus.
I love math. You don't love math? What's wrong with you?